This video contains adults playing X-Wing miniatures. Adult language is used. You have been warned. And welcome everybody to round one of the store championship for Ravenstone. This is 2017, and by God, we're going to have ourselves a store championship. This is Raven Squadron. I am your host, LP. There was a tragic accident in which I accidentally ate and devoured David, so he is not here right now. He's with us in spirit and thought, and also running the tournament. But I figure that what will happen is I'll gently guide you through the remainder of our fantastic set of games as we are playing today. Hopefully it won't suck too much. So let me go ahead and get our timer rolling, because time just officially started. And we'll now get to see everything that's happening. So let me give you the rundown on game number one. So first we have Austin Richardson, and he's flying Quick Draw with Snapshot Collision Detector Spec Ops, Omega Ace with Sensor Cluster Snapshot, and Kylo Ren with Targeting Sync, Wired Kylo Ren's Shuttle, and General Hux. And he's facing Adam Zimmerman with Rack, Colzit, and Countdown. Rack has adaptability. And it shows the adaptability at -1. Honestly, I don't really know exactly what he's doing -1 or +1 yet, because it doesn't really matter. And then we have Lieutenant Colzit with TIE X1 and Fire Control System, and of course Countdown with adaptive ailerons and lightweight frame. Now, me in my infinite wisdom here have flip-flopped the positions of players 1 and 2. So technically, it's actually Austin who will be on the right side of your screen, and Adam, who is on the left side of your screen. And this is what happens when I'm left unsupervised. So first things first, I will get this out, and we'll set up, and we'll actually watch them get their setups going. Now you can see here that Austin has his Kylo Ren kind of set somewhat off kilter, facing off to the middle of the board through the very, very sparse asteroid setup. This is the kind of asteroid setup that's kind of built for big ships, where you just go, who cares about asteroids? We're going to hate on some stuff. And he's got his, just to check, looks like he's got his Omega Ace out as well. So Omega Ace is setting up for a flanking maneuver, and he's still has Quick Draw to place. Let me go ahead and get this the squad list out of the way so we can see the full screen. Now you can check out our brand new dice cam setup, where we've got the dice cam list at the top of the screen. And as we're looking here, there is Adam setting up his rack, and he also has his, looks like that his other ships are all ready to go there. So rack is dangling out. We've got Colzit, who is facing off to the side. Rack is the last one out, and his Countdown is already facing up that flank. Now, I'm a big fan of Countdown. I really like Countdown in my TIE Striker swarms. There's just nothing quite so viscerally fun as having Countdown just flying around with 4 other PS1 TIE Strikers going nanny nanny neener neener. It's the next level stuff. So I'm going to go move a curtain here, and I will be back in just a second. You can finish watching them get set up. I'm back. We're back. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Let's see how the rest of their setup goes. I'm a big fan of the Rack setting up in the quasi-turtling position. So he just showed up his adaptability. Looks like he's taking adaptability up 1. So I guess we're seeing Rack at PS9 to compete with Quick Draw. Now he's setting up a few other things, getting his positioning out. He's using the fabled Mike Jones setup to where he's putting his range ruler out to PS3 to where he can actually see range 3, so we can see how far range 3 reaches out. Very crafty, ultimate sneakers. Let's see how we go from here. There's giggling, there's faking, there is a good luck, have fun, and they are preparing to DACA the sweet hell out of each other. Adam's customized dice boxes, or his card boxes, his everything boxes. He's really quite adept at that. We're offering a cut. He is indeed cutting, and it's kind of a Swedish cut where one actually takes it, cuts it, drops a bunch of cards, and then divides by 7. So he's now placed his deck all ready to go. His deck is now ready. And now Austin's reaching over. He's grabbing his deck. He's grabbing his dials. Oh, God, this is going to be real fucking boring to listen to me like this, isn't it? I apologize in advance, but Jesus, I'm going to make it work as best I can. So it's an interesting setup that we have here because we've got Rack, who I'm assuming we're going to see like a Rack and Countdown and Coles it, just kind of a diddly bop around. I imagine they're going to have to run as a unit, whereas Omega Ace is just going to go squiddly-doo off in the corner and dance around to be a gigantic pain in the keister. Now, for those of you who haven't seen Omega Ace in a while, Omega Ace is the TIFO fighter who, let me go ahead and bring him up here so I can share a little bit. But Omega Ace, when he's attacking, he can spend a focus and a target lock in order to change all of his results to crits. So he's only starting off with 2 dice, but at the same time, if he can get to range 1 with a focus and target lock, then he can nuke a fool. So we will see how this sort of thing works. Dials are set for Adam. Dials are almost set for Austin. We're about ready to actually get this ball rolling. And starting off, I imagine, with Colzit going first. Let's see what we have. We have a... Ooh, looks like a massive honkin' straight maneuver. He's got his tap marked. Sorry, his rack is marked. Oh, looks like actually a 3 hard. So Colzit, originally parked in the turtling position, swings out hard with a 3 hard. I like saying hard. Makes me feel better about myself. Pay no attention to the minor glitches that happen. This is just really the electromagnetic interference of the upper stratosphere. I blame random acts of senseless violence. So now that Colzit's gone, let's check out his actions. I'm assuming probably going to be a focus, standard good old-fashioned. Now I've got countdowns, flippity-dippity. So before he reveals his dial, which I'm sure he actually announced it to his opponent, he looks like he did a 1 soft in. And now his dial pops. See, look at that, exactly like we said. He's performing a 2 soft. Nope, looks like a... he's actually going to mark his model there. And just line things up. And there's the 2 soft following the adaptive ailerons diddly bopper. Probably taking a focus. No, he's doing a barrel roll. I like it. Probably just making sure he can get out of the way so that Rack can probably 2 hard or 3 hard to come in. So coming up next, we have ourselves a Kylo Ren going 4 straight. And don't forget, Kylo has targeting sync as well as General Hux and Wired. And he's got the Kylo Ren shuttle. So I'm really kind of intrigued because I don't really get to see a lot of Kylo Ren flying. So, and don't forget, when you're flying Kylo Ren, he has, whenever he is hit by the first attack each round, he deals the I'll show you the dark side condition card to the attacker. And I'll show you the dark side basically means that the player who deals it searches the damage deck for 1 damage card with the pilot trait and can place it face up on the card. And when you suffer a crit from an attack, you instead deal out the face up damage card, which means it punches right through shields, and it makes you generally feeling very unpleasant. We can see Omega Ace is kind of zipped along slowly. Not super slowly, but slowly enough. And looks like we're getting ready to set up, find out where Rack is going to go. Oh no, it looks like quick draw first. Of course, the reason why is that Adam gets to move his Rack last to react to wherever quick draw goes. Quick draw zipped on up there, and now he's waiting. He's waiting with bated breath, or the camera could just be freezing. It's hard to say. But he's moved forward at a fairly quick pace, and he's now going to go ahead and set up. And looks like we'll probably take a focus action. At least I'd anticipate. It's either focus or barrel roll. Focusy-docusy. And here come to Rack. 2 hard flying in. like a boat out of hell. But yeah, but to back to what I was talking about, the Kylo Ren shuttle is pretty nasty just because of the idea that you shoot at him. In essence, you're basically priming yourself for a blinded pilot or a PS0 pilot, whatever is just feels the best at the time. Now, of course, Rack is engineing up, trying to sprint into that range 1 or 2 where he becomes very effective. And let's not forget here that Adam's Rear Admiral Scheer now has mercenary co-pilot, so technically he can deal crit threats out to ranges 1, 2, and 3. Kind of nasty. Checking range because Rat gets to shoot first, and of course nobody's in range of anything, so we should be going straight back to dials. Terribly exciting, friends. Terribly exciting. I tell you, it's about as much fun as watching a goat kill a squirrel. Although I don't really know what that looks like. It's probably pretty scary. Let's just put it that way. So we're lining up our next actions here. Dials are going down. I'm going to be intrigued to see. I feel like that Omega Ace is about to get shoved right in the pooper unless he can manage to split aside and have Quick Draw and Kylo kind of swing in as a really hard flanker. But Omega Ace is at a bit of a disadvantage here just because he's not going to be able to get his ability off unless he can get fed a focus token. Now, if we look at various other things here, we can potentially see that the Kylo Ren shuttle has General Hux. Now, General Hux, of course, has he can choose up to 3 friendly ships as an action at ranges 1 and 2. He assigns a focus token to each and assigns the Fanatical Devotion condition card to one of them. Then General Hux gets a stress token. So I'm sort of feeling like what we're going to end up seeing is that we're going to see the target lock come in probably from Hux, a.k.a. Kylo Ren. But we could also potentially see a General Hux action, because if Omega Ace gets a target lock himself, then of course we could see the General Hux kick in. There's the focus token assigned over. There's the target lock. And it's going to be pretty darn icky because we could potentially see a Fanatical Devotion assigned also to Omega Ace, so that one of those focus results flipped to a hit could, of course, be unblocked. Or we could see, instead of the Fanatical Devotion getting assigned there, Fanatical Devotion could potentially go to, could go directly onto Kylo Ren himself. Because after all, we want to get focus token and target lock over onto Omega Ace in order to flip all those to crits and punch holes in beef. Looks like dials are down. Let's see what nastiness we've got set up. So Adam flips over his Colzit. Looks like we're going for a 3 soft. He's swinging in. This is kind of interesting. It's going to be real close to bumping. Not quite a bump, but it's going to be real close. And so he drops out. I'm assuming what looks like a focus token. Now, again, if you're not familiar with Lieutenant Colzit, let me just give you a quick rundown on Colzit. Colzit basically is at the start of the end phase. You can spend a target lock you have on an enemy ship to flip a random face-down damage card face up. So it really seems pretty clear that Adam's going for a crit-heavy build this time. So Colzit swings up with the 3 soft. Looks like countdown is flying forward, ailerons flapping in the wind, much like big cheeks. And it's about to get hairy. So Kylo Ren does a 3 soft in. Very strong, very girthy, very manly. He's definitely trying to impress his grandpa here. And so he has gotten his maneuvering. I'm assuming they were just checking some lines of sight there. We've got Adam standing up. When he stands up, we know that shit's about to get real. He's reminding his opponent, I'm assuming, to either do an action or to read the text on the card. Looks like we've got some card text reading going on. Now he's doing some range checking. I'm assuming checking range 1 or 2 to see if Fanatical Devotion will kick in. So now we'll see. Look like it might be within range 2. Yep, he has kicked on Fanatical Devotion, I'm assuming. And he does need to put the stress token out, so hopefully he does remember about that stress. So it looks like Omega Ace is going next. Omega Ace is going for balls. I repeat, Omega Ace is going for balls. I'm looking for a target lock from Omega Ace. And also, let's keep in mind, maybe he didn't do Fanatical Devotion. Maybe he just did a coordinate action from Kylo in order to just give him a focus token. So that means that Kylo Ren is going tokenless and actionless this turn, but he's attempting to put all of his eggs in one basket. And it looks like we have a target lock to countdown. Oh, this is just peach pudding right here. Let's see. Countdown's an interesting one to go after because it's either going to be Omega Ace turning everything into crits, and Omega Ace does actually get to shoot, I believe, before Kylo Ren, because Kylo Ren has wired and comes in at PS6. Omega Ace is at PS7. So this is going to be interesting. Here we have Quick Draw flying in with a 4 straight. So what action is Quick Draw going to take? Who knows? Looks like barrel roll. Trying to line up a shot to be able to start putting some dice down against Adam's pretty beefy, pretty nasty force over there. This is the point in the conversation in the game commentary where I say to you, hey, you know, if you got any suggestions for me, please feel free to chime in. But then I realize, oh, wait, it's just me talking into the void. So then I remember that I am but alone here. And I'm okay with that. So if you have suggestions, if you have comments for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. And we will talk at great depth about who made good choices, who made bad choices, and overall, who just made choices. Because after all, if you choose not to decide, you have still made a choice. Thank you, Rush, for a fantastic lyric. Looks like all of the things are set up. We got some red dice rolling here. And 2 dice. Thank you for rolling in the dice box. Guess who forgot to tell them to roll into the dice box? So, looks like... let's see here. We're going to check to see what they do next here. I might wait for the next lull in the action to let them know that, hey guys, please roll in that dice box so that our viewers at home can see the fun and excitement that happens. So it's decision time. It's decision time. Okay, so looks like that tokens are being assigned. We've got some cards being reviewed. Decisions. Because it is worth noting that we have technically a Kylo on Kylo game here. Adam running Kylo as a crewman, whereas we have Kylo's shuttle on Austin's side. Now, Kylo as a crew is kind of interesting, just from the point of view that... I'll bring him up real quick here so to tell you the difference between his crew information. So basically, Kylo as a crewman means that you assign it as an action. So that's kind of interesting. So it looks like that we haven't done any shooting yet, and Kylo as a crewman is using his action in order to pick out a fanciful card. And he is assigning it to... Oh, no, he's getting ready to make shots now. They're checking ranges to see if anything lines up. And it looks like there's some bated breath, some anticipation. I see some red dice coming out. It's very exciting here. I feel like a golf announcer all of a sudden. It's like, this is what it sounds like. In the dice box. In the dice box. Please, please, everybody. In the dice box. In the dice box. Of course it's not in the dice box. 1. Looks like a reroll. Blank. And, of course, nothing. So it was 1 die. So apparently he was shooting there. Looks like that was a dodge die versus 1 hit. Perfect. So 1 hit, 1 dodge. Okay, so no changes in anything. Fascinating. That'd be perfectly fine if they roll them out there and then just put the dice results in the box. I'd be okay with that. So we got some more dice coming. Looks like, oh, that's disgusting. That would be 2 hits and 1 crit. And, of course, Mercenary Co-Pilot is changing one of those hits over to a crit. Oh, merciful everything. That would be 2 hit, 2 crit versus 1 dodge and Ina Focus. So who is getting hater-rated off the board? Is that Quick Draw, who's about to lose a shield? Who's about to lose a bunch of shields? Who's about to lose loads of shields? Andy to crit. Let's find out. Or is that a Mega Ace? Who's dying? What is it doing there? So we've got 1 dodge. So we got 2 dodges total. So we have 2 hits are canceled by the 2 evades. And it looks like 2 crits. Ah, I see. So it looks like that the face-up damage card is dealt as one of those crits. And that was... Move this over a little bit. All right, so we have 1 fromage down on a very, very hateful amount of damage there. Okay, so let's see what goes on next. So that's a face-down damage. We just simply got to figure out what's going on there. Okay, so now they're checking range. We've got a TO call in the front from another table. Looks like 2 dodges there. Or at least a dodge and a focus. Ooh, we've got a hit and a crit rolled. With 4 dice. It looks like Kylo Ren rolling some Daka Daka. Burned off 2 shields. Off of something. Terribly exciting. I can tell everybody's just at the edge of their seats, riveted, waiting for something crazy to happen. Looks like that Countdown is checking his range now. Probably going to be range 1, so it should be 4 dice on 3. Let's see some results. Looks like 1 hit, 1 crit versus Omega Lega. 2 focus results. So I think that might just kill Omega Ace right there, because I believe that Omega Ace took the first face down card there. Let's see, there's face down and crit. Now we saw it showed up there. Oh, he's probably had a shield left. Something went through, I guess. He's just deciding cards here, flipping things over. Lots of results. Yeah, that's got to be 1 dead Omega Ace. So now it looks like that Adam is currently winning. Let me get the scores updated here. So Adam has killed Omega Ace. Omega Ace is worth 24 points. I'll mark down here. Zero. Let's try 0. There we go. And 0. Update. And we'll go ahead and adjust the scores here real quick. Then I'll give you a quick screen. So the current score for Adam is 24. To Austin 0. And they're back to dials. Let me give you the quick screenshot here. I'm going to get rid of the dice cam for a moment. You can see now that we have Omega Ace officially has the big X, the X of death through his face hole. Omega Ace went toe-to-toe with Rack and Countdown, and Omega Ace got rocked. And it appears that very little return fire damage. Such is life. Omega Ace went for it, paid the ultimate price. And Adam is now behind by 24 points. Sorry, Adam is ahead by 24 points. Austin is behind. Back to the match cam. So dials are going down. Looks like that Austin had a pretty easy idea about what he wanted to do with quick draw there. Looks like the question is, what do you do with a Kylo Ren? It's like that whole sea chanty, what do you do with a drunken sailor? Well, what you don't do is fly him straight into somebody's face. Wasn't a bad idea. Wasn't a bad idea at all. The problem was just that when you fly into range 1 with 2 big honking ships and range 2 of a third, and you can't bring all of your firepower to bear, and you're going to lose the pilot skill duel, you're about to get it shoved in your face. We'll see whether that cost him the game here in just a little bit. Still no dial down for our main Kylo Ren. It's hard to say what the future holds for Kylo. And we're waiting. We're waiting some more. It's interesting, really. Plus, if we look at the dice cam, we've got the remnants of the killing shot of poor Omega Ace just kind of hanging out there as the ultimate reminder of what happens when you fail the Emperor. But it's all fun and games when it's Emperor on Emperor action. Makes me kind of long for the days of Palp Aces versus Palp Aces. One could be the false Emperor, and then you get a whole 40k vibe going, and it's just good times. One sip of my delicious, incredibly now watered down Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, and I can keep blasting away at your ear holes with some fantastic sounds. Let's see what we have here. All 3 dials are in. Well, this is going to be kind of interesting because, let's face it, a Kylo Ren shuttle still deals a shitload of damage. Shitload. I mean, 4 dice out the nose hole is pretty nasty, and the dial isn't terrible. But the question becomes, what does Rack do? Well, I mean, come on. If I was Rack, I'd be like 3 softing and then boosting around because there's no damn way that shuttle can catch him unless it one hards. So I think I believe that the Upsilon has a 1 hard, but it's red. We'll find that out in a second. Yep, 1 hard red. And the Upsilon does go first. So theoretically, if you want to be lulzy, then you could have dialed in like a 3 hard. But then you'd also have to anticipate that you've got a Colzet who's probably going to like 3 soft in. Which is what it's... I guess they're just trying to like check out where things are going. Or maybe Colzet bumped specifically just to stick around. Yeah, Colzet bumped. Does nothing. Then... looks like we have Countdown moving in for the potential block of a 1 soft or 1 straight. So Rack could potentially slow roll here. Looks like he went 2 straight and, of course, gets the bump. So Countdown lives another turn. Looks like that, just from this angle, it's entirely possible that Colzet could actually be able to snaggle a shot in on the corner of Kylo Ren, but we'll see. And then we have Quick Draw, probably what, 2 softing, I guess. 3 softing. The question is, he didn't bump himself, but he set up in an excellent flanking position. But of course, this is where, again, if you're rack, you go for the flyby, which is not a terrible idea. Where he 3 softs and then boosts and flies out of arc and proceeds to engage in Haterade. Looks like Quick Draw's dropped a focus token. Come on, Rack, let's see what you got. He flips his dial over with great panache. He didn't go for the 3 soft, he went for the 4 straight, but the effect is the same. So now we check arcs. Looks like he has successfully arc dodged. And he doesn't even have to boost at this point. He could take an action. Like he could turn around and Kylo Ren onto Kylo Ren. It really feels kind of awkward when you say it that way, but hey, you know what? That's life. So now he's attempting to angle his dangle. He's trying to decide, am I close enough? Do I need to boost out of the way and lose my Kylo action? Or do I take 4 dice to the Tuchus? I mean, that could strip all of his shields off in 1 round of shooting, but he's also going to deal 4 dice back to a fairly undefended Kylo shuttle. Nope, he is in turn. He is showing him the dark side, going back into his damage deck. Don't forget that last card there. There we go. Oh, I hate it when they stick to the frickin' table. Pain in the ass. So now he's do 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 do. And the fun part is, if he can just, because he can flip a crit. I mean, we are in Magic Crit Land for Rack, because again, as I kind of constantly point out. Let me just grab you, Rack, here. Let us not forget Rack's special ability. At range 1 or 2, you can change one of your focus results to a crit. So as long as he rolls 1 die, just 1 fucking focus result, or if he rolls 1 natural crit, yeah, he showed it on there and I totally missed it. I appreciate the fact that they're showing it, but damn it, it's the they moved that almost too quick. But I'm assuming it's probably like a blinded pilot. You guys are going to know it before I do, because I'm going to look back at this and go, oh, I should have figured that. But let's just assume for a second that he blinded piloted that crap. Because if he did, look at that maneuver. That 4 straight got him out of the way of everything. That's so busted. I almost think he could have done it with the 3 soft, too, but 4 straight ended up being the better maneuver. So now they're just checking ranges on a few things. And they're getting ready to dice some dice. Double checking to make sure that they agree on range. And they're getting dice out of the dice box. And let's see what we got here. We're about to see clattering. Looks like a hit and a crit. And that's coming from Austin, so it looks like that Quick Draw is firing at Lieutenant Colzet. It's 2 dodge dice, so I guess maybe he's going at Quick Draw? I don't know. 3 dodge, there we go. So you got 2 focus results. So it looks like that both the shields are going to pop off of Colzet there. Let me get that updated. Starting to finally put some damage down. Good job there, buddy. So Colzet should be down to 0 shields. Let's kind of show this one up here real quick. So again, 0 shields now on Colzet. Checking ranges. Got some dice results here. Looks like we have... Oh, that's a lot of damage. Looks like 2 hits and a crit fly through. And, of course, now he gets his. I'm sure it's blinded pilot. So now Kylo Ren can't shoot him back this turn. Sicko. But now he as Kylo should be turning around and assigning out his damage deck because, again, Kylo's shuttle assigns as a defensive action or a defensive result. This is fascinating. I tell you, when these two just ended up randomly on the camera, and I just thought, I'm probably going to end up with a bunch of medal lists today, but man, first game of the day, Kylo on Kylo action. That just goes to show you everything's wide open in this game of X-Wing. Still peeking. I'm trying to decide, do I PS0 him? Do I blinded pilot him? What do I do? It's a valid thought, because if you PS0 him this turn, then that really potentially means that it just kind of flips back and forth. They're not quite getting it on camera. Damaged cockpit. Oh, see, took him down to PS0. That's what I was just thinking. It's like I was hypothesizing. So David popped in for a hot second, said he went to damaged cockpit. Hey, David, real quick. Can you guys hear me beyond the curtain? No. Perfect. Because I'm keeping it just the right volume so they can't accuse me of attempting to, like, assuage the game.
Yeah, you're 5 seconds delayed.
Exactly. I'm 5 seconds delayed. Everything's potatoed. The world is a happy place. Yeah, David came back from the dead to inform me that everything is fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Checking a little rangy dangy. He's trying to see if he's got some shots from countdown over to Omega Ace. Oh, sorry, not Omega Ace, brain fart, to quick draw. Looks like some shots are about to Padoken. Getting his green dice out of the way. Got 3 dice, 2 hits from quick draw versus 2 evades. So countdown fires 2 dice, and quick draw evades 2 dice. This wouldn't have been such a bad time for quick draw to get some fires, though, because quick draw got to start earning points back. Little range checking. Now we're seeing if Coles it does indeed have the corner shot like I think it might be. Looks like it might not be. Maybe there is. I think we've got some Coles it shots. And checking the dice rolls. Looks like, ooh, focus and a crit result. So 1 crit goes through, and then 1 evade. And manages to avoid taking any damage. But as it's Coles it, this means that a target lock should be going down at some point. They're back to checking cards. They're back to confusion. They're back to tanking. Ha, get it? Back to tank. Ha. And they're setting things up to keep on rolling here. So now Adam is staring intently at Austin's cards, attempting to discern the meaning of the universe from them. And we're setting up for our next round as they're getting ready to start staring at their dials intently. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry for the pause there. I actually put the microphones on mute so I could blow my nose and feel better about myself. Now, as per David's recent announcement, looks like we've got about 35 minutes left in the round. So you'll see a timer that's listed here. It shows about 36 minutes. That's just an approximate timer. David's keeping the official time out on his official Cryodex official. 35 minutes are down. Or left, I should say, 40 minutes down. It's been a very tight game, considering that basically the 2 fleets of ships flew at each other and attempted to beat their generals across each other's cockpits. Get it? Cockpit generals reference. Gotta kill me sometimes. Jesus. So let's see how these dials go. You know, there's part of me that thinks that quick draw could either try to overfly Colzit or could try to Talon roll. The town roll is a misspeak. Sorry about that. I also had to sneeze. Wow, it's like allergies or something. But the town roll is a misspeak. I meant to say sloop. So I'm almost kind of half curious as to whether quick draw sloops or tries to overfly and use some backdoor shots. But now they're in the unenviable position of trying to chase rack, and that's never a good idea. Wow, the part of hay fever today being played by the role of Parker's nose. Good golly. I could tell it's going to be one of those days when you start off and you're getting ready to leave the house and head over here to set up for a long, exciting day of X-Wing casting. And, like, I get this massive frickin' nosebleed. It was just holy moly. I felt like some stupid anime character who just saw a pretty girl just, like, bloosh and then fall over. But I managed to stave off the blood. It took a blowtorch and a hammer, but we're okay. And now we're back to seeing where the dials go. I tell you, Kylo Ren shuttle in a bad spot. He basically almost has to chase Rack, but that's what Rack wants you to do, because then Rack just kind of gently boosts along, just peppers your ass with shots until things blow up. But technically, even at range 3, Rack has an advantage if he's being chased in a linear fashion. I meant Kylo Ren has the advantage because Kylo turns around and has 4 shots out, whereas Rack can only manage 3 at range. But we'll see. I mean, let's face it. The Rack has the advantage of having the engine, so it's going to be pretty easy to arc dodge, get back around, and then once an engine gets around the arc again, it's kind of going to be kind of all over about the shooting. Or the shouting, I think as the phrase goes. So now they're talking and trying to figure out amongst themselves, what am I going to do next? Looks like Colzit is coming out doing a 1 soft. Just slow rolling. Saying, haha, I'm going to be in here just to screw with you. And sorry for the pause there. Another schnazarola. Looks like that we have the return of the nosebleed for one. Again, anime characters strike back, and we also have an attempt at blocking. So we've got Lieutenant Colzit doing his best to get in the way of any potential maneuver for Kylo. Because don't forget, Kylo has to move before Rack, which makes this a gigantic pain in the ass. So looks like the countdown is attempting to turn past and kind of go over Kylo Ren, and he's probably going to pull that off. And he's going to get right in the way of quick draw being able to slow roll. So it's going to be pretty nasty. But let's keep something in mind. Quick draw can solo some fools. So let us not underestimate the power of a good quick draw. Okay, so now he's checking Kylo's dial. I'm going to be intrigued to see what Kylo does. He's going for a 2 soft. Let's see here. 2 soft? No, 3 soft? 3 soft. He's going to bump no matter which way he goes, because he has to try and do the 3 soft left. If he tries for a 3 soft right, then he's just gonna fly off the board. There were just so few places for him to go. That was pretty rough. So I'm feeling like probably Rack has gone Rack's probably gone a too hard right, maybe. It puts him in line to just skim past that rock. He may have to 3 soft it or even 1 soft it, but he's going to get some pretty unmolested return fire, or unmolested fire. But so Kylo Ren's shuttle has settled himself quite nicely in between a whole bunch of other ships. No actions capable. All sadness engaged. Next up, we have a quick draw. And quick draw is to softing. So quick draw is disengaging. And using his ass guns in order to proceed. So he'll get some countdown shots, but that's about it. Looks like he's going to take probably some type of action, I would guess. Yeah, looks like probably a focus. Let's see. Oh, he went the 3 hard route. Wanted to make sure he skipped that rock. Yeah, 2 hard would have been pretty close, but I think he did pretty well. Okay, let's see what we got rolling here. Rack is deployed. What is Rack going to do? Is Rack going to Hux? Sorry, is Rack going to Kylo? Is Rack going to take a focus action? I think he took a focus. I think he's going to engage in little backdoor shenanigans on Kylo Ren there. And dice are getting set up. We're going to see what happens. Looks like target lock now. Target lock over onto Kylo Ren, the shuttle gears. It's a range 3 shot. Getting ready to set some dice up. Going to be 3 dice on 2. Looks like we're seeing a quick draw fire first. And we have a hit and a miss versus a single evade. So quick draw fired first, and quick draw basically shot into the void. It's kind of the story of my life, really. Shooting into the void. The LP story. It's more dice time. We're seeing how things go. Looks like we have, oh god dang it, 3 natural hits versus no evades. Somebody is eating a spoonful of all shit. And some shields go crazy. 3 shields come off. So it looks like that. I'm assuming that Kylo Ren has just now accepted 3 damage into his life. I'm going to take off 3 shields here so we can kind of keep that up. And I'll bring you over so you can see, again, looking at... that's kind of funny. I didn't bring in rear Moshirno's shooties. But yeah, so Kylo Ren... Yeah, there's a bunch of things that are jacked up here. But anyway, so he's down 3 shots. Let me go in to bring this back up here. Okay, time to see what happens next. Yeah, it's a real bummer about Kylo's shuttle there. Can't do anything this turn. So he's gonna turn around and reset. But if he loses 3 more shield points, that's gonna be half points for the Kylo shuttle. And that's another 22 points for Adam's favor. We're back to dials, trying to figure out what the hell to do next. I mean, let's face it here. Rack is in a perfect position. He can just dance around the edges, and he could basically like one soft and boost around. I mean, at most, Kylo could try to turn around and one hard coming out. I don't think he can get that blocked from now. The only thing that would block him would be if there's actually nothing that would block him. Although technically a one hard might end up touching the corner of Colzet, so he'd probably want a two hard to be safe. So I'm thinking a Kylo Ren two hard, thinking a quick draw sloop or a K-turn. I can't remember if the TIE if the TIE SF has a K-turn. No, it's got a sloop. No, just the sloop. So I figure it's probably got to be like a 3 sloop left from quick draw, then a 2 hard left from Kylo. Rack is probably going to, I don't know, one soft, boost one soft, and just kind of meander around the edges. Countdown could probably, like one soft, and then one hard, and catch a corner of Kylo there. Colzet can K-turn. Because Colzet with FCS is just there and as an annoyance. So we'll see if things go how I think. It's kind of fun, actually, sort of talking to myself about this and seeing how it pans out. I mean, it's good to have other people around, but now I get to see how much of a shitlord I am at X-Wing. And what do we have? I think that's K-turn. K-turn? Yes, I think it's a K-turn. Or not. Maybe it's just a straight. Yeah, I think he just went straight. Interesting. I would have K-turned, but that's just me. So we've got that sort of planning its way out. There's about 20 minutes left or so, a little more than 20 minutes. I guess he's trying to make it so that Colzet doesn't do anything stupid. Looks like a focus token from Colzet. Quick draw. His pre-maneuver is one soft around. Then I figured he would one hard, but let's see. Let's see. Wait, what? Did I miss something? Is he stressed? I must have missed something. Looky there. He's going for the wide turn. Wow, see, this would have been the turn where I thought things would have tightened up super hard, but hey, maybe that's why I'm sitting here behind the booth as opposed to out there flying. Okay, so Kylo Ren Shuttle has said war, garble, garble, and gone GTFO. And let's see what else we got. Looks like a one soft, or sorry, two soft there. Either way, it was one soft, I guess. From Quicko Drawo. And it looks like one hit there. Maybe checking rock damage or something. He's just doing the one straight as opposed to trying to curve around the rock. Let's see if he boosts in or if this is just a reset turn. Still plotting to see what he's going to do. Yep, here's the boost. Good old engine rack. Okay, so Rack is now setting up for his attack run. It'll occur probably within a couple of turns. Well, honestly, the way this game is kind of slowed down, it's hard to say when the killing blows are going to hit. Because both players are playing super defensive right now, trying to preserve what points they have. But this is also the point at which, if you play hyper ultra defensively, then you're in a really fantastic chance of torpedoing your MOV for next rounds. But it is what it is. So we've got a whole round of nobody shooting anything and everyone just staring awkwardly at each other, kind of like junior high kids at a dance going, well, do I ask her to dance or do I just sit here and like bang my head against the wall and say, oh my God, I wish I would ask her to dance. Jesus. Dials are down, at least for Quick Draw and Rack and Kylo. Now it's just a matter of countdown and calls it. We have calls it down. Let's see what we got next. And countdown's down. So the last two to go down are the first two to go up. Let's see what calls it does. Too hard. Interesting. So basically it looks like that Adam has chosen to completely reset and then swing back in as a formation, as opposed to using his small ships to get right up in the nose of things while Rack spins his fat ass around. Looks like focus on calls it. And the striker, taking a look at his die real quick. First, he's going to do his aileron floopy. And he is adaptively aileroned one to the right. And now his maneuver is another one to the right. So, one soft, one soft. And he's now in prime kind of pursuit / blocking position. Kylo Ren once again does a massive slow turn out this way. See, now he's in position where he's going to have to hard turn in. Yeah, 3 soft ain't going to do it. He's going to have to hard turn in. I think a 1 hard would... Or 1 hard stands a really good chance of hanging his back right corner off the edge of the board. 3 hard or 2 hard are probably what he's going to need to think about. And quick Odrawo. 3 softing. Yep, 3 softing. Okay, so he's setting up his 3 softs, swinging out to the left. How does he do it? Does he dance? Does he blow things up? Does he have a potato? Okay. Watching through here. Let's see what the Rack do. Rack 2 hards. Looks like. No, 3 hards. I guess the question now is, does he straight boost or does he soft boost? If he soft boost, he might be able to catch a side shot onto... Yeah, there we go. So he soft boosts into the left. Looks like he's going to try and catch a side shot on good old Quick Odrawo there. We'll see if it works. Setting up the famous laser shot there. Checking out range. I couldn't quite tell from the angle, but it looks like he's pulling out dice for firing. Quick Draw has no shot, so it's just going to be Rack taking a shot there. So at range 3, we get a focus to crit from the Merc Copilot. Sorry, hit to crit from the Merc Copilot. He's got 2 focus results. Looks like he's not, because he didn't have a focus token, just had target lock. But the 1 crit does get blocked. Evade away. Setting up for shots there. I see 1, 2 red hits. And then looks like a focus result for a 3rd hit. No dodges, so 3 dice come through again. And that would be 1, 2, 3 shields. Oh, wait, looks like there's 1 shield down, then 1, 2 hits. I do believe that is on quick draw. So let me go ahead and get some quick draw notes down here. So let's go hit quick draw. Quick draws down to 0 and 2. Actually, 0 and 1. So quick draw is nearly gone. I'm bringing up the results here right now. Yep, check it out. We've got quick draw sitting on 1 hull. We've got a Mega Ace is deader than a doornail. I believe that Kylo Ren basically just has Justice sitting on 3 shields left and 6 hull. But I could be wrong there, because when I'm looking at the cards sitting out, I see 5 upgrades there. Let me actually just spin back into this, because this is the only problem with the way that these cameras are set up. Maybe it's Kylo Ren is down to 5 hull. Can't quite tell you. I guess that Omega Ace is down there at the bottom and is dead. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark down Kylo Ren at 5 hull. The reason for that is that's going to affect the scores here, and I'll show you here in just a second. Update this so we can see Kylo at 5 hull. And as we go down to the scores, that gives half points for Kylo at 45 points. That means he's sitting on another 22. So that's going to be 46 points. And there's the standings. No, tournament has been started. And here we are back on the camera. Dice cam up, and it's showing 46 to zip. Very defensive game, very well flown by both pilots today. They're both trying to preserve the. They're both trying to basically preserve their MOV wherever possible, but they had to be careful that they don't just basically torpedo their own MOV into straight oblivion. So back to dial assignation. To my knowledge, I don't think that Rack's really taken any shots yet. Engine rack being flown with expert ease. So 3 hard in from Colzit. Checking range. Nada, nada. Let's see what else we got here. And now we're setting up to see what's happening with what in the blazes. Maybe he's trying to set up a 1 hard and getting a weird angle on things. But he 1 softed to the right with his adaptive ailerons. And now we're going to see what happens with the actual maneuver itself. Yep, there's the 2 hard. Just trying to get a different angle on it. And set up to where he can chase down Kylo Ren. Because Kylo is probably going to have to, like I said, 2 hard in. And oh man, that quick draw is in a pretty shite position. Let's see if that screws him up. So there's the 1 hard, like I thought was potential, Here's the question. Oh, so he checked the one hard. Maybe he said like, "Hey, would you check a one hard for me? I just want to see something." But so let's see the dial. Let's see it. Does it block? Does anything off? He's on. Too hard. Yep. The too hard was the right call. The only way he'd get done. Oh. Oh. We have bumpage. I repeat, we have bumpage. But that bump was an accident as opposed to an actual bump, because I believe he still has an action available. And now we're setting up. We're staring at each other intently. It's like when you're engaging in an Eiffel Tower and you're looking fiercely into the opposite person's eyes, and the two of you lock eyes and you go, "Yes, we are one. We are the champions, my friends." Looks like we've got a focus action set up for quick draw there. Finally, quick draw gets to get some action in. But here comes Rack. Holy moly. Now, the hard question here is that is Rack... Yeah, he's currently... I think he's in 2 arcs. So Rack is in kind of a bad spot right now. I think Rack's going to have to engine to get out of Quick Draw's arc. Maybe he even has to... I think he's still going to take 4 shots from Kylo. This is going to get interesting here. Or does he take the chance? Well, actually, or does he turn around and action up and give somebody a blinded pilot? Because I don't think both blinded pilots have come out yet. Because if he blinded pilots, then that's going to be one set of return fire that he's going to completely avoid. But I think there already is a... I will show you the dark side out right now. Oh, such decision. Very wow. This is starting to get a little tense here. Looks like he did go the engine route just to try and get out of Quick Draw's arc. He's still going to take it in the face from Kylo Ren's shuttle, but it is what it is, you know. So that now they're setting up their dice at each other. Looks like we're going to see some shoot-sees from Rack either onto Kylo or onto Quick Draw. It's not a bad idea to go after Quick Draw, especially if Quick Draw only has a hull left, because then you turn around and eliminate another ship off the board. Should be sitting at range 2, which is range for Rack to flip, as opposed to Mark Copilot to kick in, and extra dice don't work. So we have 2 focus results, and one of those flips to crit, which gets dodged naturally by evade results. So it looks like he was going after our friend Quick Draw. Now Kylo Ren gets to return fire. So it's going to be 4 dice at range 2. Let's see what we got here on the dice cam. Looks like we have 1 crit result, 2 hit results. Sorry, 2 focus results that are getting both turned into hits. So we've got 2 hit crit versus I don't think any potential evades. So that's just going to be 3 shields down onto Rear Admiral Cherno. First damage to Cherno today. We'll update this over here. So Cherno only sitting at 1 shield left. Culls it down to 3 hull. Countdown still sitting at it's showing 4 hull, which is obviously correct. but not 5. He says, flipping through the results. Still waiting on results to come in. And we're back to our camera. Ooh, looks like we just had 3 hits on 1 evade result. I think I missed a little bit there. Cole's at trying to take some shots, no dice. See, when I was skipping cameras around, I missed a couple of things, but you know what? Doesn't really matter. Screw it. So he's going through and doing some comparasones. Do a little dice result. They only got just a few minutes left on this first round. Sitting on 5 minutes, so it looks like our time has managed to get back into sync, and we'll see what happens here. Dialing time. So if you're Adam, you got to go for ensuring that you're getting like another ship off the board. You got to kill another ship. So he's going through now and doing his return fire, or his return Kylo action there. I just love how sometimes the dice camera just has these like random little like weird, "Hi, I'm a lone evade die sitting out here in the middle of a dice cam. Fear me, for I know nothing. Hate me because I know everything." Quick draw's ready. Rack is ready. No, Rack is not ready. I feel like if you're quick draw, you got to just swing in hard and try and get some half damage in. So Kylo Ren is ready. Let's not forget here, Kylo had to 1 hard in, so Kylo's got to stress. So he cannot turn around and maneuver outside. Up. He went back for his Kylo dial. I think this is probably going to be the last round, because the way they just keep changing their maneuvers. It's going to take him this full round. Here comes Colzit. So what's Colzit going to do? Too hard? Yep. Looks like he hard turned in, just setting up. Probably trying to get a target lock on. If I was him, I'd be trying to get a target lock over onto quick draw. Trying to flip that last one of those into a hopeful double hit, direct hit. And he's actually still got his target lock on somebody. Maybe it's over on Kylo Ren. Here comes Countdown. Countdown is just kind of, he slooped in 1. Not sure that he can do really anything else beyond just... Yeah, so he's just trying to keep his arc onto Kylo as much as possible, and potentially just gut Kylo on the last turn of shooting. And is Kylo 1 softing? He's 2 softing. Oh, he's going to get shot right square in the ass. Ooh, did he dodge the arc? Holy moly. What a set of flying. I think that he may have dodged the arc on Countdown there. But what did he do with his quick draw? Well, we're going to see some blood here in this round of shooting. I don't know if it's going to be enough to come up with the 46-point deficit, but it's definitely going to be something interesting. What do we have? Here comes Rack. Rack is 3 harding. Is he 3 hard lefting? Yes, yes he is. He's bringing the power of this fully operational battle station right up your ass. So Rack turns around and dodges out of the arc of Kylo Ren. So Kylo just has shots on Colzet. But Kylo theoretically could kill Colzet this turn, and that's 23 points worth of ship right there. But I don't know if Quick Draw can do enough damage to get half strength onto Kylo to get half points there. Sounds like time is officially announced. So they're just going to be finishing dice rolls here. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Let's see what happens here. So Quick Draw, if Quick Draw has shots, gets to fire first. And then it's going to be Rack taking shots, I'm assuming, at Kylo Ren. Or maybe trying to shoot Quick Draw. Again, the goal here is points. You got to try and get as many points as possible. They're engaging in the great FAP debate at the moment. I'm not exactly sure why they're chilling out so much, fiddly-doing with their damage decks. It almost kind of looks like that... Why the hell is Adam looking like he's reshuffling his damage deck? This is very confusing to me. This might be something to revisit later. Let's see what's going to go. Okay, now they're done staring at the wall, staring at other people's massive manly legs. Let's see what happens. Oh, the suspense is killing me. And by killing me, I mean I'm falling asleep. Jesus. Roll some dice. Don't make me hate you. Okay, we got some dice rolling happening. Looks like it's Quick Draw shooting. 3 dice. Ooh, hit, crit. Now there's a way to take it out. Hit, crit versus 3 dodge dice. And the focus flips for 3. Holy shit. 3 dodge dice. 3 nasty hits. What do you do? Well, there was Quick Draw's last hurrah. Now it's going to be Rack. He's picking up dice. He's staring at tokens. He's picking up dice. He's reshuffling his green dice. Oh my god. This is making me crazy. Can we just roll some dice, please? So 4 dice here. This looks like 1 hit, 1 focus versus 3 blanks. So I guess somebody took a damage. I'm not 100% sure why that one happened, considering that if it was Quick Draw that fired, then it should have been Rack firing next. I got nothing. Either way, it looks like they're getting ready to do some fancy-dancy rolling here. Adam, roll some fucking dice, please. Oh my god. This is how nosebleeds start. Just the pressure of trying to figure out who's going to roll with dice when and how often. Checking range. I guess at Coles it's now going to shoot back. Why in the... I can't lie. This seems like the dumbest fucking round of shooting I may have ever seen. But this is what happens when you've got just one person running the show back here. Sometimes it works out really well. Sometimes it just turns into a couch potato. And I think we're in couch potato mode because there's just a tiny bit of missing information. And unfortunately, there's no one for me to go grab. Looks like that was a single critical hit roll versus 2 dodge dice. So I guess that Coles it dodged. Okay, so I guess now Rack's firing. I don't know why this is so out of order. So 2 hit crit, I guess, on a Mega Leader. Or not a Mega Leader, listen to me. God damn it. That's crit hit, because I guess it's range 3. I think that's got to be a dead Quick Draw. Versus... Yep, that's a dead Quick Draw. And that should seal the deal there. Quick Draw coming in at 31 points. Update that. And we'll come over here to the score. That's going to be 77 points. And I think that's where it's going to end. So again, showing you here. Yep, they're finishing up. Looks like we have finished up our game. We have Adam Zimmerman pulling out a 77-0 win over Austin Richardson in round 1 of our intergalactic fabled Raven Squadron Store Championship here at Ravenstone Games in lovely Central Ohio, in the city of Columbus, in the state of Ohio, in the town of also Ohio, which is not actually a true statement. It's in the country of the USA. We're on planet Earth. And my brain is a potato, and there's 6 more games to cast. Pray for me. This is LP signing out. Be sure to kill everything. Take care, gang.